Hey folks, Galen Norris here. I wanted to take a few minutes to discuss the situation that happened these last few days with NASCAR driver Kyle Larson. As a driver myself, I feel I have to explain all too often to the fans that when you ask to be involved in a sport, be it either on iRacing in this case with Kyle Larson or actually in the sport of racing, you're going to find that people are competitive and that they're going to say things at times that you wouldn't expect them to say. It don't seem like it's in their personality. But whenever we get in the heat of competition as drivers, we tend to say things that are not flattering. By all means, I don't deny it as a race car driver myself, having worn the helmet and the fire suit and been in crashes and hard racing. You do say things, even about your best friends, to be honest, that you would regret any other time. But in the heat of the moment when we say these things, we're not thinking that way. We're thinking from the competition standpoint. But when we get out of the cars, or in this case, in Kyle Larson's case, when he gets out of a game, he realized we make mistakes. We shouldn't have said what we said. And that's why I always caution people, if you want to be involved in the sport, either as a spectator where you can listen into what the drivers are saying, be it in the car or on a game, be prepared to hear things you're not going to like. It by no means does this excuse what Kyle Larson did. But he made a mistake. The next day, NASCAR suspends him indefinitely. Chip Ganassi suspends him. He's told to take sensitivity training. Apologizes later in the day yesterday. Then finds out after that McDonald's and Capital One, or Credit One, Bank, are pulling their sponsorship from him. Then, this morning, finds out Chip Ganassi has now fired him, Coca-Cola has left him, and Chevrolet will not have any ties to him as a manufacturer support. This has gotten blown way out of proportion, people. Had he not apologized, and had this gone on for maybe a week, 2 weeks, and he hadn't changed his mind, apologized, admitted he was wrong, I could understand everything then that would happen. But they didn't give the poor guy even 48 hours to apologize and make amends, and they fired him. They fired him in 48 hours. There are NFL players that have had long NFL careers and have done much worse. There are NBA players that started literal brawls in the stands, and they retired from the NBA playing the sport, didn't lose no endorsements or anything like that. So this is the byproduct, like I said, of being too close to the drivers at times and hearing everything that goes on. So I hope that somebody will pick him up, that there will be some sponsors out there that will put pride aside, be willing to give a gamble on him. If I had a business that was big enough that I could afford to, I would sponsor him in a heartbeat, because I know I'm going to get the publicity and the professionalism I would request of a sponsor to be on a car, and what I want from the driver I support, and their professionalism, because it means more to me that he admitted to his mistake and corrected it than it does, for him to have not said anything and just act like it never happened. So that proves to me he had more character, and the type of character I would want to see as a sponsor supporting a driver. So I just wanted to take a few minutes and really talk about that and what really irked me about it and stuff, and get that off my chest, because like I said, as drivers, we hate that we say things like that, and or in the heat of the moment, no matter the situation. We're competitive people. We don't, that switch doesn't just go off when we're not in the car and we're on a game. You know, you get into that juice, you get those juices flowing, and you still, you still have the passion as if you were actually behind the wheel of a car and literally driving. So please don't hammer on Kyle Larson so hard. Give the poor guy, a break. He handled it the best that he could. I don't think he was given a fair shake by his team owner, his sponsors, manufacturer, or NASCAR. So, on the other, now another point I want to make on this, NASCAR, you are really pushing fans away when you start to overregulate things like this, because fans want drivers to be genuine, and that. And by no means do we want racialistic slurs or anything uttered or that are offensive. But you got to wake up to the point that this is what drives fans away. When you micromanage the sport so bad that one little mistake like this has now cost the driver a lot. And what you don't realize is when you cost a driver like Kyle Larson, you're costing your brand of NASCAR, because them fans that supported him are going to feel that they were disrespected by NASCAR and disregarded, and they will quit coming to the races. They will quit buying NASCAR gear to support the sport. They'll quit watching. So NASCAR, you have to realize this is a double-edged sword. You can, not only can you cut on one side, but you can be cut on the other. So just remember that, NASCAR, that you're going to end up pushing a lot of fans away when you start micromanaging the sport to this point where, when they're even playing a video game like iRacing, that you're managing them that hard. And this was kind of the one other problem that I saw, especially last week with the dust-up with Bubba Wallace and Clint Boyer, where Bubba Wallace rage quit, as they call it. Now Blue Emu pulled the Cup sponsorship from him over a game, and he says, "This is why I don't take this seriously." I kind of saw this coming when you guys were when you said you were going to do the iRacing and that, because you can't let race car drivers talk to each other in the middle of a race, because when we can, we're going to say things towards each other that probably shouldn't be said or wouldn't be said in a normal circumstance, and that's why we are able to live and let live and not pursue things any farther at the racetrack. But in a video game standpoint, everybody can see it. You can contact each other at any time, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get tempers flaring, people just saying, I can't take this seriously. And then also now with this incident with Kyle Larson. So NASCAR, I really hope you maybe reconsider having such involvement in the iRacing world as far as the drivers' communications. Try to keep it more realistic. Keep it to the drivers, and maybe a spotter. Just try to keep it more private. I think that will help a lot of things out, especially on the racing level, like with what happened with Bubba Wallace. Because, he had heard something, or somebody said something to him or something, and it just, it culminated to him rage quitting and different things and people being mad at each other. So that's just my point of view on these two matters. I hope everybody's staying safe from the coronavirus. Hopefully we'll get back onto the racetrack here real soon. We'll get some real racing going again. But until then, stay safe. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel for more NASCAR content, Max Dirt Track Racing game content, Trucking Simulator USA. When the dirt tracks get going up here, we'll have some more videos on dirt track racing and stuff up at I-94 Speedway. And then also when I get some more time here, we'll be covering some more of the tractor repair and other things around my farm here. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I hope everybody stays safe during this coronavirus deal. Thank you.